Hi, welcome along to the 2023 season. So prep starts now on the old 140 and we've got a bit of an upgrade which I'll show you in a second. Right, so my 140's had a full rebuild after Mitch took it out at iWeighed in December. So yeah, it's all ready to go for its new heart transplant. So here we go. Drum roll please, this is what's going in it. Ta-da! A rather nice, shiny JRM 250. Courtesy of Roy Bridges Racing. So yeah, Roy's sorted me out an engine and a pipe and a carb and all the other necessary bits. We've got my old engine plates going in, which Roy's modified with a Godden gearbox. So just going to do a video on fitting that in there. And there we go. 10 minutes later we have a little GT140 power plant out the bike. So all looks a bit wonky donkey at the minute, but anyway, we'll get the other engine plates. So Roy's modified these to take the Godden gearbox. So we'll swap the pivot over between that one there, that little bit. We'll pop the pivot in there, get that bolted up, and then we'll get these engine plates in the bike and get it all in one bit again, and then put this beastie in. Right, so there's the engine plates all in. Just left all the bolts loose for now, just to obviously get everything in position. So yeah, we'll nip those up and then get the engine mounted up. We've also got to mount the footrest up as well, but we'll crack on with that in a sec. And there we have it, one engine is in. So that's all good, that's all nipped up, everything's lined up perfectly. So now we'll crack on with doing exhaust, clutch and all that good stuff. So we'll see what happens next. That's the clutch all mocked up and the ignition mounted up, and now onto the exhaust. So that's got the header all bolted on and the rubber anti-vibration mounts all on there. Got the silencer on, that's off the 500, so we borrowed that. So the next job basically is to make up a bracket to come down there, and also put the lock wire on there as part of the scrutineer, and you need to have that on there so the silencer doesn't fly off and hit anyone. So that's the next job. So it's time to do some CAD, cardboard aided design. So here we go. So we're going to mount that up there, do a bit of cutting, get it about right, and then we'll make it out of metal. There, so we've made the bracket up now, have a bit of alley. And so we just need to mark up the holes, centre punch those, drill those out. I might add some speed holes in here as well, but we'll see how we go. That's got the exhaust bracket made up, not bad for a bit of shitty old checker plate I'd knock around the garage. So yeah, I might make a bit of a thicker one because it's a little bit thin, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, there we go. So just got to do the supporting cable now to put that onto the engine plates, and I think we're about done on the exhaust. So we just made up this little cable there. That's a bit of mountain bike cable with a collet clamped on through the other side there, and a bit of rubber pipe. And then next thing I've just mocked up is the clutch cable. So yeah, just got to take this little collet off here. It'll come out. There we go. So yeah, just got to basically, I've marked that up as you can see with a bit of pen. So just got to get the gas soldering iron and or blowtorch, sorry, and then get that soldered on, and then that's the clutch cable done. Then that pretty much finishes off the last of the little job. So I'll drag it out and give you a walk around before it goes back to Roy's to get finished off. So we've cracked the old cardboard out again, and just making up a foot peg mount. So yeah, obviously that's going to be spaced a bit away, but it'll look something like that, but of aluminium. So then we just need to make some spaces to obviously pull this out a bit, so we'll have that sitting away from the frame by about, I don't know, 20 mil, something like that. So that's tomorrow's job, make that up. So just paid Dad with beer, which is always a good trade. So yeah, I've just given that a file around the edges, and a bit of WD and a bit of Scotch Brite, just to sort of make that look a bit nicer. So it all looks quite cool. Got our 20 mil spacers there, so again I'll give those a quick once over to make those look pretty. What I'll probably do is put a bolt in there and put the bolt in the drill, spin it round, and then give them a clean up. So I'll show you that when they're done in a minute. and then the brake cable's been soldered. Clutch cable's been all soldered up, so that's all good. So thank you very much, Dad. Right, so we're going to hit it with a bit of WD and a bit of that, bit of spinning, and then we'll see what it turns out like. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So yeah, we'll get the other one done now, and then it's not really focusing, but it's sort of got that kind of brushed look. I didn't want it polished up, but that looks quite neat. So we'll get the other one done and then bolt it all on the bike. Right there, so that's that all done. So it all looks pretty smart, if you ask me. Nice and solid. And obviously that's a bendy back one. So yeah, that's that little bit done. So we'll just chuck the clutch cable on, and that's about us done, really. So that's the clutch cable all made up. So I've done some sort of quite neat routing all the way down there, and then oh, bit of a jaunty angle for you. But there we go, so that's all working okay now. So obviously need to finish off the rest of the clutch the other side, but that's the cable done. So yeah, that's it really. So I'll just zoom back out, and this is the kind of current state that the bike's in. So I've got a few bits to do, which we'll do up at Roy's. So we've got to obviously finish the clutch, chain and sprockets on it, clutch cover, carburetor, breather, another fuel tap, and I think that should be about it. So a few little jobs, but probably a couple of hours work, and we should be ready to rock and roll with it. So I can't wait to have a spin on it. Never ridden a 250 laydown, so can't wait to have a spin. So and the next shakedown for this will be the 5th of February at Iwade, with the weather all being okay. So can't wait for it. So I'll show you the bike once it's all totally finished and running. But that'll conclude it for the video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you hopefully with a running bike on the next video. Cheers all, bye.